Imagine if your body could talk. What if every ache, pain, and illness was trying to tell you something important? Well, here's a mind-blowing idea. Your body is talking to you all the time through your health. That headache you keep getting? It might be more than just stress. That skin rash that won't go away? It could be your body's way of saying something's not right in your life. Today, we're going to dive into the fascinating world where health meets spirituality. We'll explore how common diseases like diabetes, asthma, arthritis, and allergies might be carrying messages about our inner lives. Now, before we go any further, let's be clear. This isn't about ignoring doctors or ditching your medication. This is about adding another layer to how we understand our health. It's like learning a new language, the language your body speaks. By the end of this video, you'll have a whole new way of looking at your health, and you might just uncover some surprising truths about yourself. Think about the last time you were really nervous. Maybe your hands got sweaty, or your heart started racing. That's a perfect example of how your thoughts and feelings can affect your body. It's like there's an invisible bridge connecting your mind and your body, and thoughts and emotions are constantly traveling back and forth across this bridge. This connection isn't just about feeling butterflies in your stomach when you're excited. It goes much deeper. The way you think, the emotions you feel, even the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world. All of these can have a big impact on your physical health. It's like your body is a living, breathing mirror of what's going on inside your mind and heart. But here's the thing. Most of us aren't taught to listen to our bodies this way. We're used to thinking of our bodies as separate from our thoughts and feelings. We treat symptoms without asking why they showed up in the first place. It's like trying to fix a car without looking under the hood. Sure, you might get it running again, but you haven't solved the real problem. That's where this spiritual approach to health comes in. It's about learning to look beneath the surface. It's about asking, what is my body trying to tell me? When we start to see our health issues as messages rather than just problems to fix, we open up a whole new world of understanding and healing. Now, this doesn't mean you should ignore your doctor's advice or stop taking your medication. Not at all. Medical science is incredibly important and has saved countless lives. What we're talking about here is adding another tool to your health toolkit. It's about working with your body, not against it. So, as we explore these ideas, keep an open mind. You might be surprised at what you discover about yourself. Remember, your body is incredibly wise. It knows things about you that your conscious mind might not have figured out yet. Learning to listen to it can be like having a conversation with a very wise friend who knows you better than anyone else. Let's talk about diabetes. On the surface, it's about your body struggling to process sugar. But what if we dig a little deeper? In the language of the body, diabetes might be talking about how you handle the sweetness of life. Think about sugar for a moment. We use it to make things sweeter, more enjoyable. In life, we have our own versions of sweetness, the things that bring us joy, pleasure, and satisfaction. But just like with sugar, too much of a good thing can throw us off balance. Diabetes, in a spiritual sense, might be pointing to an imbalance in how we're experiencing life's sweetness. Are you allowing yourself to enjoy the sweet moments in life? Or are you constantly denying yourself pleasure, always putting work and responsibility first? On the flip side, are you indulging too much, always chasing the next high without taking care of your deeper needs? It's all about balance. Your body needs to balance sugar levels, and you need to balance how you experience life's pleasures. This doesn't mean you should never enjoy a piece of cake or a fun night out. It's about finding that middle ground where you can enjoy life's sweetness without letting it overwhelm you. Now, let's get practical. If you're dealing with diabetes, or even if you're not, here's a simple way to start bringing more balance to your life. Every day, take a few minutes to savor something sweet, and I don't mean food. It could be a beautiful sunset, a hug from a loved one, or a moment of peace in your favorite chair. Really let yourself enjoy it. Feel the sweetness of that moment in your body. At the same time, pay attention to where you might be overindulging. Are you constantly seeking comfort in food, shopping, or other quick fixes? Try to notice these patterns without judging yourself. Remember, it's all information. Your body is just trying to tell you something. For those dealing with diabetes, this doesn't replace your medical care. Keep working with your doctor and following their advice. But alongside that, you can start this inner work. Start listening to what your body might be telling you about how you're living your life. Are you allowing enough sweetness in? Are you taking care of yourself in deep, nourishing ways? As you start to bring more balance to how you experience life's pleasures, you might be surprised at how it affects you. You might find yourself feeling more satisfied, more at peace. And who knows? As you make these inner changes, you might even see changes in your physical health. Remember, your body is incredibly wise. It's always working to bring you back into balance. By listening to it and working with it, you're tapping into a powerful source of healing and wisdom. Diabetes, seen this way, isn't just a problem to be fixed. It's an invitation to look at how you're living your life and to find a sweeter, more balanced way of being. Let's take a deep breath and talk about asthma. On the surface, asthma is about struggling to breathe. But in the language of the body, it might be telling us something deeper about how we're breathing in life itself. Think about breathing for a moment. It's not just about getting air into our lungs. Every breath we take is like saying yes to life. We breathe in, accepting what life offers us. We breathe out, letting go of what we no longer need. It's a constant dance of taking in and releasing. Now, asthma makes this dance difficult. In a spiritual sense, this might be pointing to places in our lives where we're feeling suffocated or overwhelmed. Are there areas in your life where you feel like you can't catch your breath? Maybe it's a job that's squeezing the life out of you, or a relationship where you feel you can't be yourself. Or perhaps you're taking on too much, never giving yourself room to breathe. Asthma might be your body's way of saying, hey, you need some breathing space in your life. It's like your inner self is crying out for more room, more freedom to just be. This doesn't mean you need to quit your job or end relationships. It's about finding ways to create more space in your life, both literally and figuratively. Let's get practical. If you're dealing with asthma, or even if you're not, here's a simple exercise to help you create more breathing space in your life. Every day, take 5 minutes to just breathe. Find a quiet spot, sit comfortably, and focus on your breath. As you breathe in, imagine you're breathing in space and freedom. As you breathe out, let go of anything that's cluttering your life or your mind. While you're doing this, pay attention to how you feel. Do you find it hard to slow down and just breathe? Does your mind keep racing to all the things you should be doing? These are all clues about where you might need more breathing space in your life. For those dealing with asthma, this doesn't replace your inhaler or other medical treatments. Keep following your doctor's advice. But alongside that, you can start this inner work. Start noticing where in your life you feel squeezed or suffocated. Are there small changes you can make to give yourself more room to breathe? As you create more breathing space in your life, you might be surprised at the effects. You might find yourself feeling calmer, more centered. You might even notice that you're breathing easier, both literally and figuratively. Remember, your body is incredibly wise. By listening to it and working with it, you're tapping into a powerful source of healing. Asthma, seen this way, isn't just a problem with your lungs. It's an invitation to look at how you're living your life and to find ways to breathe more freely, more fully. It's about learning to say yes to life in a way that feels spacious and open, rather than constricted and tight. Now, let's bend our minds around arthritis. On the surface, arthritis is about joint pain and stiffness. But in the body's secret language, it might be telling us something about flexibility, not just in our joints, but in our thoughts and actions too. Think about your joints for a moment. They're the places in your body that allow for movement, for change in direction. Without flexible joints, we'd be stiff as boards, unable to adapt to our environment. In life, we need mental and emotional flexibility too. We need to be able to adapt to new situations, to bend without breaking when life throws us curveballs. Arthritis makes this physical flexibility difficult. In a spiritual sense, this might be pointing to areas in our lives where we've become too rigid. Are there places in your life where you're stuck in your ways? Maybe you're clinging to old beliefs that no longer serve you. Or perhaps you're resisting changes that need to happen, trying to keep everything the same even when it's time to move on. Arthritis might be your body's way of saying, hey, you need to loosen up a bit. It's like your inner self is pushing you to be more adaptable, more open to change. This doesn't mean you need to throw away all your beliefs or completely overhaul your life. It's about finding ways to be more flexible in your approach to life's challenges. Let's get practical. If you're dealing with arthritis, or even if you're not, here's a simple exercise to help you cultivate more flexibility in your life. Every day, try to do one thing differently. It could be something as small as taking a different route to work, trying a new food, or listening to a type of music you usually avoid. As you do this, pay attention to how it feels. Do you find yourself resisting the change? Or do you feel a sense of excitement at trying something new? While you're doing this, also pay attention to your thoughts. Notice when you're having rigid thoughts like, I could never do that, or that's not how things are done. These are clues about where you might need more flexibility in your thinking. For those dealing with arthritis, this doesn't replace your medical treatments. Keep working with your doctor and following their advice. But alongside that, you can start this inner work. Start noticing where in your life you're holding on too tightly. Are there beliefs or habits that you could loosen your grip on? As you cultivate more flexibility in your life, you might be surprised at the effects. You might find yourself feeling more open, more adaptable. You might even notice that you're moving through life with more ease, both mentally and physically. Remember, your body is incredibly wise. By listening to it and working with it, you're tapping into a powerful source of healing and growth. Arthritis, seen this way, isn't just about painful joints. It's an invitation to look at how you're moving through life and to find ways to be more flexible, more adaptable. It's about learning to flow with life's changes rather than resisting them, to bend without breaking when challenges come your way. Let's sneeze our way into the topic of allergies. On the surface, allergies are about your body overreacting to harmless substances. But in the body's secret language, allergies might be telling us something deeper about how we react to the world around us. Think about what happens during an allergic reaction. Your body is essentially saying no to something in its environment. It's rejecting something that it perceives as harmful, even if that thing is actually harmless. In life, we sometimes do the same thing. We react strongly to situations or people, pushing them away even when they might not be a real threat. Allergies, in a spiritual sense, might be pointing to areas in our lives where we're overly sensitive or reactive. Are there aspects of your life that you're rejecting outright? Maybe you're pushing away new experiences because they make you uncomfortable. Or perhaps you're having a hard time accepting certain people or situations in your life. Allergies might be your body's way of saying, hey, you're rejecting too much. It's like your inner self is pushing you to be more accepting, more open to what life is offering you. This doesn't mean you need to accept everything and everyone into your life. It's about finding a balance between protecting yourself and being open to new experiences. Let's get practical. If you're dealing with allergies, or even if you're not, here's a simple exercise to help you cultivate more acceptance in your life. Every day, try to find one thing that you usually dislike or avoid, and look for something positive about it. It could be a person you find difficult, a task you hate doing, or a situation you usually try to avoid. As you do this, pay attention to how it feels. Do you find yourself resisting the exercise? Or do you feel a sense of relief at finding something positive? While you're doing this, also pay attention to your reactions throughout the day. Notice when you have a strong negative reaction to something. Is the reaction proportionate to the situation? Or are you overreacting based on past experiences or fears? For those dealing with allergies, this doesn't replace your medical treatments. Keep working with your doctor and following their advice. But alongside that, you can start this inner work. Start noticing where in your life you're saying no too quickly or too strongly. Are there areas where you could be more accepting? As you cultivate more acceptance in your life, you might be surprised at the effects. You might find yourself feeling more at peace, less reactive to the world around you. You might even notice that you're moving through life with more ease, both emotionally and physically. Remember, your body is incredibly wise. By listening to it and working with it, you're tapping into a powerful source of healing and growth. Allergies, seen this way, aren't just about sneezing and itchy eyes. They're an invitation to look at how you're reacting to life and to find ways to be more accepting, more open. It's about learning to say yes to life more often, to welcome experiences rather than automatically pushing them away. Now that we've explored these different health challenges, you might be wondering, what's next? Understanding these connections is just the beginning. It's like you've been given a new pair of glasses to see yourself and your health in a whole new way. But the real magic happens when you start to use this awareness to make changes in your life. Think of it as embarking on a healing journey. This journey isn't just about getting rid of symptoms. It's about getting to know yourself better, understanding the messages your body is sending you, and using that information to create positive changes in your life. Remember, awareness is the first step towards change. By simply paying attention to your body and its messages, you're already starting the healing process. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see things that were always there, but hidden from view. But awareness alone isn't enough. The next step is to take action based on what you've learned. This doesn't mean you need to make huge, dramatic changes overnight. Small, consistent steps can lead to big transformations over time. For example, if you've realized that your asthma might be related to feeling suffocated in your job, you don't need to quit immediately. You could start by having a conversation with your boss about your workload, or by setting aside a few minutes each day for a breathing exercise. These small actions can start to create more breathing space in your life. As you make these changes, pay attention to how you feel. You might notice improvements in your physical symptoms, but you might also notice changes in your mood, your energy levels, or your relationships. All of these are signs that you're moving in the right direction. Remember, healing is a process, not a destination. There will be ups and downs along the way. Some days you'll feel like you're making great progress, and other days you might feel stuck. This is all normal. The key is to be patient with yourself and to keep moving forward, one step at a time. Now, let's talk about some practical steps you can take to support your healing journey. Think of these as tools in your healing toolkit. You can use them whenever you need a little extra support or guidance. First, consider starting a health journal. This isn't just about tracking your symptoms. It's about noticing patterns in your health and your life. Each day, jot down how you're feeling physically and emotionally. Note any significant events or stressors. Over time, you might start to see connections between what's happening in your life and how you feel in your body. Meditation is another powerful tool. It doesn't have to be complicated. Even just 5 minutes a day of sitting quietly and focusing on your breath can make a big difference. Meditation can help you tune into your body's messages and can also reduce stress, which is often a factor in many health issues. Speaking of stress, finding healthy ways to manage it is crucial. This could be through exercise, spending time in nature, pursuing a hobby, or whatever helps you feel relaxed and centered. Remember, what works for someone else might not work for you. The key is to find what feels good and nurturing to you. Talking to someone can also be incredibly helpful. This could be a trusted friend, a therapist, or a support group. Sometimes, just voicing our thoughts and feelings can bring clarity and relief. And hearing others' experiences can remind us that we're not alone in our struggles. It's also important to pay attention to your diet and sleep habits. What we eat and how we rest can have a big impact on our overall health. Notice how different foods make you feel. Are there certain foods that seem to trigger your symptoms? On the flip side, are there foods that make you feel energized and well? The same goes for sleep. How much sleep do you need to feel your best? Remember, these are tools, not rules. You don't need to do all of these things all the time. Start with what feels manageable and go from there. The goal is to create a self-care routine that supports your healing and feels good to you. And of course, always keep in touch with your healthcare providers. The spiritual approach we're discussing here is meant to complement, not replace, medical care. Your doctor is an important partner in your healing journey. Now, let's bring all of this to life with a personal story. A few years ago, I was dealing with chronic headaches. I tried everything: medication, diet changes, even acupuncture. Nothing seemed to help. Then, I started paying attention to when the headaches occurred. I noticed they often happened when I was pushing myself too hard, trying to meet impossible deadlines, or saying yes to things I really didn't want to do. It was like a light bulb went off. My headaches were my body's way of saying, "Slow down. You're pushing too hard." Once I realized this, I started making changes. I learned to set boundaries, to say no when I needed to, and to make time for rest and self-care. It wasn't an overnight fix. The headaches didn't disappear immediately, but over time, they became less frequent and less severe. More importantly, I felt better overall. I was less stressed, more in tune with my needs, and generally happier. This experience taught me the power of listening to my body. It showed me that our health challenges, frustrating as they can be, often carry important messages if we're willing to listen. Now, your story will be different from mine. Your body might be telling you something completely different. The key is to start listening, to be curious about what your symptoms might be trying to tell you. Remember, this isn't about blaming yourself for your health issues. It's about empowering yourself to play an active role in your healing. It's about seeing your body as a wise friend trying to guide you towards better health and a more fulfilling life. As we wrap up our journey through the hidden messages of health, let's take a moment to reflect. We've explored how common health issues like diabetes, asthma, arthritis, and allergies might be more than just physical problems. We've seen how they could be carrying important messages about our inner lives, our relationships, and how we're moving through the world. Remember, your body is incredibly wise. It's always communicating with you, sending you signals about what it needs and what might be out of balance in your life. Learning to listen to these signals, to decode the messages in your symptoms, can be a powerful tool for healing and personal growth. This doesn't mean that every health issue has a hidden spiritual meaning, or that you can cure serious illnesses just by changing your thoughts. Medical care is still crucial, but by adding this spiritual dimension to how you think about your health, you're opening up new possibilities for healing and understanding yourself. As you move forward from here, I encourage you to stay curious. Pay attention to your body. Notice how different situations, thoughts, and emotions affect how you feel physically. Keep an open mind about what your symptoms might be trying to tell you. Remember, this is a journey. It's not about getting it perfect or figuring everything out overnight. It's about gradually developing a deeper, more intuitive relationship with your body and your health. And most importantly, be kind to yourself along the way. Healing isn't always easy. It can bring up difficult emotions or require us to make challenging changes, but it can also be incredibly rewarding. As you learn to listen to your body and honor its messages, you may find yourself not just feeling healthier, but living a more authentic, fulfilling life. So, I invite you to see your body not just as something to be fixed when it breaks down, but as a wise teacher, always guiding you towards greater health, balance, and self-understanding. Your body has a story to tell. Are you ready to listen? Thank you for joining me on this exploration of the hidden messages in our health. I hope it's given you some new insights and tools for your own healing journey. Remember, your body is speaking to you all the time. The question is, what is it trying to say?